Schools are supposed to be a safe haven from sex offenders. State law prevents offenders from living within 1,000 feet of a school or daycare. But a Fox 45 investigation found a huge loophole in the law. Liza Danver uncovers the shocking number of violent sex offenders that are allowed to live next door to your child's school.
There are a whole lot less wheels on the bus going round and round your neighborhood this year. In an effort to streamline transportation, Dayton Public tightened eligibility requirements for busing.
We do.
Thousands of additional students are walking to school for the first time.
We won't let her walk. I don't care if she's with a group or not. She's not walking.
That's because she knows her daughter would be walking by the front doors of hundreds of sex offenders.
I'm definitely going to keep her close to me, and that's, like I said, it makes me sick to my stomach knowing that. I did not know that at all.
Mandy's kids go to Ruskin on the east side. 78 registered sex offenders live within 1 mile of the elementary school. You have to live more than 1.5 miles away to be bussed.
They shouldn't be able to live that close to a school. Being charged as a sex offender, especially against children.
If they're child molesters, they don't need to be nowhere near kids. I mean, that's sickening.
But these Ruskin parents are actually the lucky ones. E.J. Brown has 101 registered offenders living within 1 mile of the school. This guy lives just 528 feet away from the elementary's front door. He's one of hundreds of sex offenders in Montgomery County that do not have to follow the law.
That's why one of the reasons why we chose to live across the street from a school. We didn't think we had to worry about things like that.
We get a lot of calls from people wondering why they're allowed to live there. And sadly, I have to explain the loophole in the law to them.
And it's a loophole that's quite large. The law preventing offenders from living within 1,000 feet of a school like this one went into effect July 31st, 2003. So any convicted offender who committed the crime prior to that date has no housing restrictions at all.
That's why Larry Widder and his wife can live across the street from Wright Brothers Elementary. He's grandfathered into the law because he was convicted of unlawful sexual conduct with a minor 3 years before the law was passed. Widder's wife says they're living here because they took over a family member's lease.
He's just like everybody else. And we're so tired of people discriminating against him and everything else, and it's just getting ridiculous the way the people who just, oh, he's a sex offender, got to stay away from him, and it's not like that. Not all sex offenders are bad.
That's ridiculous. You know, there should be no grandfather rule for sex offenders. You know, you're a sex offender, you're a sex offender.
The law was upgraded in 2007 to include preschools and daycares. The initial law only specified schools. That means convicted offenders who committed the crime after July 1st, 2007 are restricted from living within 1,000 feet of those facilities. All other offenders are allotted a lax loophole.
There's not a whole lot of restrictions on sex offenders, not as much as people would believe that there are.
I'm in shock and sickening. It's not right. I don't think they should live that close to the school. It's not right. It's dangerous.
Which is why Mandy is going home to look up sex offenders who live close to Ruskin. With more than 1,000 registered offenders in Montgomery County alone, the sheriff's office is hoping you do the same thing too. In Dayton, Liza Danver, Fox 45 News.